Suit up, strap in, warm the tires, and leave on yellow. Time for the MitsuTimes podcast, presented by MitsuTimes.org, the home of the fastest Mitsubishi cars. With your host, Josh.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to a very special episode of the MitsuTimes podcast. My guest today is Mr. Nick Amaral, the owner and driver of the coolest Evo out there. How are you today, sir?
I am doing well, my friend. How are you?
I am fantastic. Always an honor to speak with you. And today we're going to talk about something very cool that you got going on. Something that I believe will be very beneficial to not just the Mitsu community, but also the racing community as a whole, because we're getting kind of stagnant on events, right? So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you got going on?
Yeah, so we got an event happening in August of this year. It's called Wild in the Valley. It is held at Lebanon Valley Dragway in New York. This is a local track, kinda, to us. It's about 3 hours from us, but this is where we test. This is where we practice and, try all the new stuff out. It's like a mutual spot between Rafe and I, so it's cool. We're there all the time. We have a great relationship with this track. The last 2 years, we've been holding a rental. Rafe and I have been, getting a decent amount of cars out there. So a good friend, Zoe from Nice Ones, really sat down with me one day and said, you'd be silly not to just turn this into an event. We need more events. We need more car community. The tracks are shutting down. There's no events anywhere. It's all these big names and all this stuff. So this is our way of just kind of hosting an event where everybody's welcome. It doesn't matter if you have a really, really fast car or a slow car or, just a bone stock car. There should be some type of a class for you to fall into. It's literally for the racers, by the racers. I know there's other people that use that term, but, again, Rafe and I are racers. We race every week in the spring and in the summer. We're at the track. We're testing. So, we really just wanted to kind of create something on the East Coast that everybody's welcome to go out and just have fun.
Right.
So that's what this event is.
The same people who raced in the 90s. This is actual racers today racing, holding a racing event.
Correct. Yep, that's exactly what it is.
All right, so before we get too far, Nick, I want to go back because this track, I feel like we should start off by saying that this track has been the facility for multiple world record events. So this isn't just a track that we're going to have just shitty prep and it's full of potholes and all this stuff. This is a very, very good facility, a good track. There's been multiple world record passes there. There's no reason that you should be scared to bring your car here.
Right. Yeah. No. Again, I think for the most of my records that I've ever had happened at Lebanon Valley. Same for Rafe. We just started breaking records at World Cup, which is great, but we're talking weekly records over at Lebanon Valley. So if anybody has any doubts about the track, it works great for us. The track has done a lot of upgrades. Wayne has been great over there. He just signed another 10-year contract as the manager. They're constantly doing upgrades to the facilities. The track prep's usually great for us. We're going to make sure that, they have the best of their ability when it comes to the track prep for this event. So it should be really, really cool.
Now, before we get into the classes and, the kind of schedule and things like that, I want to start off by talking about, let's say I'm coming from Ohio and I want to participate at this event. Can I camp at the track? Is there hotels nearby?
Oh, there's a lot of info that is on our website. We're dropping a lot of information on the 1st of February.
Okay.
So if you go on our website right now, there's a bunch of information on there. I'm actually on there right now, so I can kind of read some of this to you. But a lot of the pages on here are, tickets, schedule, rules, car show, media requests, vendors, directions, places to stay, and then contacts. So if you click the places to stay, there's a lot of information there. So there is off there is off-site camping, which is across the street for anyone that is not a racer. That's where you would go. Now the racers, you can stay at the track, you can stay in the pits. All trailers and motorhomes have to be registered with the tower, so just let them know that you're going to be staying there, and just you have to prove that you're a racer. In other words, otherwise you're going to get charged to be there. Um, it's pretty self-explanatory. Like I said, all the information is on our website. If you're
Yeah,
not planning on staying at the track and you're looking for a hotel, all hotel information is also on our website. Everything that's near the track. So all that information is there, addresses, phone numbers, all that great stuff.
perfect. That's exactly what I was hoping for. Should we get right into the classes, or you want to talk about maybe the leading up to and maybe the ticket release date, things like that?
Yeah, so I guess we'll just do it in order. So the schedule as of right now is uh February 1st, we're gonna be releasing rules. Um we're still looking for two class sponsors. For one of them is all motor. The other class that we're looking for a sponsor is front wheel drive. Um I think we have somebody pending right now for front wheel drive. I'm not 100% sure, but front wheel drive is still on the fence for a sponsor. The only class that I don't really have any interest in, it's kind of strange, is all motor. Um, Now originally when we created this class, when we created all this and I announced it, all the all motor guys were so excited and messaging us and looking forward to it. It's just really strange that there's no vendors or companies, or there's nobody out there that wants to sponsor the class. So if I can't get enough interest in that class for a sponsor, it's kind of making me feel like I'm not going to have enough racers. So I might have to pull the all motor class and do like a no time shootout or something like that. I'm not sure exactly what it would be, but like I said, if there's not any interest in becoming a sponsor, then I just can't see, having that class if there's no interest. It just doesn't make sense.
For sure, for sure. Well,
Um,
you mentioned earlier about vendors. What if I just want to come and maybe showcase my products to the racers
yep,
and people that
yep.
do?
So that's an option too. We'll have vendor booths available. The fee is $500. Those also go on sale with the tickets. So the tickets go on sale on March 5th. So that's everybody. So racer entry, vendor booths, spectator crew, car show entry, all of that. The tickets go on sale on March 5th. So everything's there. You can't really you can't really get confused. It's all the information's there. Everything's on our site. We tried to provide as much information as possible to just make it really easy on everybody, because we know some events really get confusing and require a whole bunch of stuff. We're really trying to keep it as lax as possible and just make it so that everybody can come and support and hang out and just have a good time. It is a 2-day event too, so you know I think people get confused with that. The event starts on Friday, so qualifying will be Friday, and then Saturday will be the eliminations. But there'll be a car show on both days. Vendors will be there on both days. It's going to be pretty cool.
So let's start with, how much is it going to cost to race at this event?
So the entry fee for the event is $250. Um, to kind of give you guys a perspective on that, our fee, we're taking what the track is charging us per tech card, and we're adding a small amount on top just to cover the payouts. So we're trying to keep it as cheap as possible for the racers. And then the same thing for spectators. I'll pull that up right now just so I have accurate information. So spectator and crew for both days is $40.
Oh wow, that's really cheap.
Yeah, and then children 12 years and under are free. So we're not charging for any kids or anything like that. So again, spectator and crew, it's $40. If you buy before there's a specific time frame, once the tickets are available, you'll see it's $40 for Friday and Saturday, or it'll be $30 per day at the gate, cash only. Car show, it's a $60 entry, and what that does is it covers your spectator fee for both days.
Okay.
and it's only a $10 increase to park inside. That's what it is. It's an extra $20, and you get to park your car inside the pits both days.
Wow.
And it's not going to be judged. There's no trophies or anything like that. We're trying to keep it like the old school nostalgic feel of, probably how most friends met that are interested in cars. You show up to a Dunkin' Donuts or a Taco Bell or whatever your local spot was. You met a bunch of people just by sitting there and talking and shooting the shit in the parking lot. That's what we want. We don't
Yep.
want anybody to show up that's trying to win a trophy or anything like that. Just come hang out. There's no pressure. And you get to park inside the pits. You'll be right in front of the vendors, get to walk around. And yeah, it's just our way of kind of having like that old school feel back.
Yeah. You'd be crazy not to pay for that. I mean, that your spectator is included.
It's just an extra $20 and just to park inside, and it's going to be limited to 200 cars. Everybody else is free parking across the street. So, it's not terrible if you don't want to park inside, but if you do, it doesn't matter what you have. It doesn't matter what kind of car it is. If you have a minivan, you can park and you can enter the car show. It doesn't matter to us. And then the last part of this is the vendor spaces. They're $500 for both days, so that's total $500. It's a 10 by 40 space. It includes 5 spectator passes. So if you're bringing, friends or somebody to help you.
Holy cow.
Yep. The only, vendors that we can't have there are any type of food, beverage, and fuel. Those are not permitted. The track's responsible for that. The track has all that. So we can't have any of that there. But any other type of vendor, we already have a few ready and signed up. So you guys are more than welcome.
Hell yeah. All right, so you talk about the rules releasing soon. Let's talk about the classes that those rules are going to be coming out for.
Right. So the only 2 classes that we don't have the rules ironed out for right now would be all motor and front wheel drive because of the fact that we don't have a sponsor. But the other classes that we have all wheel drive versus rear wheel drive, stick class, 1150 index, 1050 index, and 950 index. Those rules we have already did a first draft. We're pretty close to finalizing those.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, I'm just holding tight on all motor and front wheel drive so we can kind of release everything all together. And that's why I'm kind of really being aggressive with trying to find these sponsors before the 1st of February so we can lock that in and have the rules all set. I want to give everybody plenty of time to build their cars around these rules, even though they're really not bad. These rules are pretty self-explanatory. They're
Somewhat
cool. They're just like, they're not really rules. They're just more of like guidelines so that you don't make a mess on the track, and it keeps it fair for the class,
Right.
But there's not many rules. So just so everybody's aware, it's going to be almost like a no rule thing. Like just run what your brunks feel. It's pretty badass the way we created it.
Love it. So, and one thing that we should definitely mention is the payouts for these classes, because I mean, this, like you kind of said in the beginning, this is different from a lot of the other events that are happening across the nation. These payouts are pretty serious.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not trying to throw shade in anybody else's event. This is what I came up with. This is how I kind of figured would be really cool for us local guys and the smaller guys, and everybody. It's really expensive to race, so that's why these payouts are what they are. They're not extremely high, they're nothing compared to some of the big events, but for our first event, I feel like they're pretty substantial. So, while it's in front of me, front wheel drive is a $5,000 payout. Stick class is $7,500. All motor is $5,000. All wheel drive versus rear wheel drive is $5,000. 1150 index is $2,500. 1050 index is $3,000. 950 index is $3,000. That's current. So that's where we're at right now. Those could potentially increase if the sponsors want to chip in a little bit more. And then the other part of that is if something happens and if we sell out of spectator tickets and crew and all that, and everything's sold out, then that's going to reflect payout as well.
Okay.
So those could increase based on ticket count.
So the racers are invested in promoting this event as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we always, anybody that's ever raced in an event, it's kind of your job as a racer to promote the event too. That's the whole point of it.
All right, so we went over the classes, the payouts. One thing that you guys are doing that's so cool with one of your partners is a bounty for the quickest reaction time. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, which is pretty cool. It was definitely I was kind of excited when he proposed it. So Mark over at GP1 Racing, he is giving two strain gauges out. So the driver with the quickest reaction time in eliminations will win a strain gauge in front wheel drive class and stick class. And obviously that's if we have the front wheel drive class.
Right.
Because we still don't have a sponsor. So but yeah, it's definitely awesome. So shout out to Mark, GP1 Racing. Thank you for that. It's definitely cool. We're we're open to that. If there's anyone else or any other company out there that has an idea, something similar, we can't really call you a class sponsor because we need the payout covered. Well, most of it. But if you have a product that you want to supply and offer to the races as an extra, great. We're all about it. You'll become, an event sponsor, but just not the class sponsor.
And then, Nick, let's go over the website one more time because, like you said, this is not only can you see more about the event, but this is also where you'll be able to see the rules, just where you'll get your tickets, see the schedule. You
Yep.
can apply for your media spot, vendor spot, all that good stuff.
Yeah. So once again, wildevo.net/wild in the valley. You go on the homepage, it's all up to date information. Um, I'm glad you brought up media requests because there's been a lot of questions about that. We're not going to deny you. So you don't have to really worry about that. We're just asking that you just reach out to Zoe so you can just talk to him and just pretty much let him know, hey, I'm planning on coming. This is who I am, and then as long as you agree to just partner with us and showcase the excitement of it, and tag us and collaborate with all the work that you do and all the footage, yeah, you're already approved. You don't really got to worry about it.
And Nick, while we're kind of on the subject of the classes and everything like that, let's talk about the sponsors that you have so far, so that we can, give a thank you to these guys that are supporting not just the racing community, but especially this event.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to all of our sponsors that are involved in this. So, I understand this is our first event. It's a lot to ask for, it's a good amount of money up front. I respect that and I understand. For all for the companies that spoke with me and got back to me and gave me a response, I appreciate that. However, there's a lot of companies that just don't respond, tell you yeah, 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 and then just kind of leave you in the dark. Just let us just work with us. We're not asking you for millions of dollars. We just want to work with you companies so that we can put this event on for the racers. So just start with that. But as of right now, our 950 index is presented by Evo Spec Performance. Our 1050 index is presented by MH Race Engines. Our 1150 index is presented by Kigley Racing. Our all-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive is presented by Pro Drag Racing. They are a partner of Pro Speed Autosports. So shout out to them as well. And then obviously, last but not least, the stick class is presented by RT Motorsports and Wild Evo.
And we've already seen a pretty big buzz already across social media about this event. So I want to talk about some of the cars that we can count on seeing there, as we make it to this event competing in these classes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to see what happens when the floodgates open on March 5th. To see who really signs up. But as of right now, there seems to be a lot of interest. I know obviously Rafe and I will be there with the cars. It'll be his 8 and his 10. My 8 will be there. I'm pretty sure Shane will have his Gallant there. Um, some of these other sponsors are going to be there as with their cars. So Pro Drag, Jim is going to be bringing his Corvette, which I'm pretty sure is a really serious car. I want to say maybe it's a 6-second car. I'm not 100% sure.
Cool.
We might be getting one of the White Rice Camp's car there. Mataruda and his BMW should be there. And then I think High Boost is going to show up in his all-wheel drive Civic. Those are just off the top of my head. Like I said, I've been dealing. This has been a lot of work, so I've been dealing with hundreds of messages online.
Oh,
So forgive me if I don't know everybody that's showing up. I do know that Jim was talking to his friend. He's good friends with Joel Granis, so Granis might be out there. Be pretty cool.
that would be.
We'll see. So we'll see who's ready to go and who's ready to show up and show out. I mean, this is gonna be pretty sick. And I haven't announced it yet, but I do have something really cool that will be happening at the event once we get there, once we're in eliminations. Um, there's gonna be another option to win more money. So
No
we'll,
kidding. Wow.
yeah, we'll see how that works too.
That's awesome. And I've just kind of been probing around trying to figure out, who's all coming. And some people want to wait until the rules are announced, which I understand. But I know Mike Waller with the gas stroker DSM says he plans on coming. So that alone for me as a DSM guy, that it just makes it so much more exciting for me. Obviously, I love to see the Wild Evo and the RRT Camp Evos in action all the time. But yeah, competing up against the gas stroker is always a good time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we appreciate it. Anybody that's in the DSM community, more than welcome. I mean, any community. We're not. This isn't just like a DSM or an Evo
Right, right, right.
thing. It's for everybody. And the more the merrier. I'm sure there'll be a lot of GTRs in the all-wheel drive class. I'm sure there'll be some sequential Hondas in the all-wheel drive class. Um, anything DCT, more than welcome for the all-wheel drive class. So it's gonna be pretty cool. Like I said, there's a class for everybody, so there shouldn't be, "Oh, my car doesn't fit the rules."
Right.
With it should be pretty pretty easy to get into a class.
Yep, for sure.
And we are gonna limit the car count. As of right now, I'm only allowing 120 cars because we wanna make sure we get enough qualifiers in, and we wanna give everybody the chance to get their cars 100% correct for eliminations. So, as of right now, I'm limiting this to 120 cars. That could change depending on how the hype goes, but we'll see. Like I said, March 5th will really tell where we're at. We might get 50 cars in one class, and I might have to change the car count and allow more cars for the other classes. So we'll see how that goes.
Awesome. Well, so we talked about the buzz on social media. Why don't you tell us a little bit about where we can follow on social media to see the updates and see the locked in photos or whatever else you guys plan on posting?
Absolutely. So, um, my Instagram has a lot of information there too. My Instagram is wild_Evo. You can also find me on Facebook, Nicholas Amaral. There's an event on Facebook, Wild in the Valley. And then once again, our website is wildevo.net/wild in the valley. And that's all the information pertaining to this event.
Perfect. And if you don't know the Wild guys, the Wild Boys, and the RT camp, this will be definitely be one big party. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, it should be a good time. And I do believe that the plan for us is to stay at the track, which is cool. I've never stayed at the track at Lebanon Valley. Because we're only a couple hours away,
Right.
but we've always talked about just throwing an event, staying at the track, having fun. We'll do a motor overnight if we have to, and just go crush it the next day. So it's definitely going to be cool. A lot of our friends live in the area over there, so um, I'm sure this will be one big party, like you said, like cookouts, burgers, dogs, whatever. So definitely stop by the pit area to say hi, and see the cars up close and all that.
I think one thing that's going to be nice about this, Nick, is it's not like a suit and tie kind of event. You know what I'm saying? This is like cut my sleeves off and come hang out. This kind of
Yeah, exactly. It's like I said, it's low key. It's hang out with your friends and go make a pass, and see what you can do. Go try to set a record. If you or just You don't even have to try to set a record. Just go make a hit and try to win some money. Or
right.
don't even do that. Or go in the car and go make a run and see what it does. Who cares? There's no pressure. There's no This isn't It's not like a high pressure event, like you said. It's just have fun, badass, pretty much do whatever the hell you want as long as you're respectful to the track and don't make a mess.
Right. Now, is there going to be any kind of live stream or anything like that? Let's say I'm on the other side of the country, or I'm break my leg between now and then. I could still watch and keep up with everything that's happening at this event.
Well, one day I hope to be as famous and rich as Cletus, and I can do that. Uh, so I don't think that's in the cards. It's super expensive, but you never know. Maybe we can get somebody to sit in the stands, or maybe we can get somebody in the tower to go live on like our Facebook or
Yeah.
something like that, or go live on Instagram as long as we have service, which we should because we're gonna try to lock into the Wi-Fi over there. If I can get somebody that's willing to do that, yeah, we'll stream it that way. We'll just have to go live. But as far as like what's flow racing or something like that, like
Oh,
I don't think we have that in the cards. It's pretty expensive stuff.
well, I mean, plus everybody's got to pay and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the problem with streaming is no matter what, you got to pay for the service. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe we can get Cletus out there and he'll that'll be like his birthday present for me.
Yeah,
And
it'll
he can
help
just
the streaming platform.
he'll just use the streaming platform. Yeah, and you guys can just try to get him out there, Maybe share this to him. Say, "Hey, I'll cover his entry fee if he wants to cover the streaming."
There you go. So, Nick, let's say that I'm listening to this. I'm interested in becoming a sponsor, or I'm interested in asking you some more questions about this event. How do I get in contact with you? I know you told us our website. You told us social media. Is there email I can email you?
Yeah, so that email, my contact info is all on like anything that I've shared so far pertaining to this event, my contact info is on the bottom. So it's wildevo777 at gmail.com. So wildevo777 at gmail.com. Or you can DM me on Instagram, Facebook. You can call me. My phone number is listed on the website. Shoot us a DM, whatever you want to do. Pigeon message. I'm pretty easy to get to. I'm real easy to find.
And one last thing, we're talking about taking home cash at this event, right? We're gonna have cash on site.
Well, it all depends because a lot of the sponsors are mailing us checks. So you're gonna get when we say a cash payout, you're gonna get a check for the amount of money, not just like prizes that lead up to it. You know what I mean? So for instance, a lot of folks will say, hey, it's $5,000 payout. Okay, cool. But the $5,000 payout is, $3,000 to the winner, $1,000 to runner up, $500 to, third place. And then you get, for instance, a strain gauge, and that adds up to 5,000. That's not how we're doing it. So you will take a check home. You get one of them big checks.
Hell yeah, that's almost as good as money. One of them.
A check, I'll tell you what, a check is as good as money. You go to the bank, you cash it, they're going to hand you the money. I guarantee you that. That's a guaranteed payout. All these are guaranteed payouts.
Hell yeah. All right, Nick. Well, is there anything else that we missed?
I don't think so, man. Stay tuned, I guess. The Wild Evo's making some crazy changes, so
Uh-oh.
yeah, just kind of plant that bug out there.
Is there a rear-wheel drive swap in the future?
I wouldn't say no, but I wouldn't say yeah either. So you never know.
Just got to leave us on the edge.
Oh, yeah, I mean everybody seems to be building rear-wheel drives nowadays. It seems like it's the go-to.
Really do.
Yep. But I tell you what, the Wild Evo is all-wheel drive, and it is an H-pattern vehicle.
As of right now.
As of today, January 10th, 2026.
All right, Nick. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to come on here and share this. I can't wait to not only be there and watch this event happen in person, but to hopefully compete and have a lot of fun with the Wild Evo boys and everybody else that shows up. So definitely be there or be square. This is the event of the year. Don't miss it.
Let's get wild in the valley, baby.
Let's do it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to the MitsuTimes podcast. Check out our Instagram and Facebook for daily updates. Get added to our list by going to MitsuTimes.org and clicking Submit a Slip. Thank you to all of our sponsors.